The Trump-Epstein scandal just continues to grow and grow by the day, with the Wall Street Journal dropping what may be the biggest bombshell yet. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Right, and that, according to senior administration officials who told the outlet that his name appears in them multiple times. And in fact, not only that, Trump allegedly knew about it, right? Because they also say that during a routine briefing back in May, where Epstein was not the main focus, Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy informed the president that he was in the files. Which, if true, means that Trump lied last week when he claimed that Bondi had not told him exactly that. And according to the Journal's sources, many more people knew about this as well, because reportedly FBI Director Kash Patel has privately told other government officials the truth, right? And all of this is, the sources say that Trump was also told that many other high-profile figures were named as well, with one official saying it's hundreds of names. But to be clear, I am not saying, nor does it necessarily mean that Trump abused kids with Epstein. But if his name is in the files, we don't know why it's there or if it suggests any wrongdoing. Though if this is true, you're gonna have many saying, well, why did he lie about not being told exactly this? Right? More unanswered questions that people are gonna fill in the blanks on their own. Though this is notably in the report, you had some of the Journal's sources adding that they told Trump that the files contained what officials felt was unverified hearsay about many people, including Trump himself. And that is, you had the White House communications director adding, this is another fake news story, just like the previous story by the Wall Street Journal, referring to the leaked birthday letter. But also, the Journal's not the only news outlet that Trump's angry at right now. With Donald Trump reportedly saying, you've got to be kidding me, when he picked up the phone yesterday and CNN was on the other end. Right in that, because they called to ask him about a handful of newly unearthed photos and video footage that put Trump and Jeffrey Epstein together on several more occasions than were previously known. Starting with this one in 1993, when the photographer Daffy Jones captured Trump and his kids Eric and Ivanka together with Epstein at the opening of a Harley-Davidson cafe in New York. And then 2 months later, Jones snapped a photo of Epstein entering the Plaza Hotel to attend Trump's wedding to Marla Maples, with an Epstein popping up in another photo from that wedding amidst a group of other guests like a pedophilic Where's Waldo. And lastly, archival footage from a 1999 Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York. It shows Trump and Epstein laughing and chatting together before the models came out, which also wasn't the first time they attended a Victoria's Secret event. I mean, you saw them together also at an Angels party 2 years earlier as well. You know, as far as Trump's response to this, I'll just let CNN's Andrew Kaczynski describe it.
Yeah, we were not on the phone very long. I think our call was about 30 seconds or so. But when I asked him about the wedding photo, he said, he sort of paused for a second and then said, "You've got to be kidding me," before calling CNN fake news and then hanging up on me.
With the White House communications director later adding, these are nothing more than out-of-context frame grabs of innocuous videos and pictures of widely attended events to disgustingly infer something nefarious. But the thing is, adding that context, it doesn't exactly make Trump look any better here. Because since 2019, and especially over just the past few weeks, the media's been digging up more and more evidence showing just how close Trump and Epstein were. With, for example, the New York Times publishing a piece over the weekend detailing the evolution of their friendship. A friendship which apparently started around 1990 when Epstein bought a property near Mar-a-Lago. And then in 1992, NBC captured Trump and Epstein at a party in Mar-a-Lago with cheerleaders, with Trump at one point dancing among a crowd of young women, with him then later appearing to whisper something in Epstein's ear while pointing at other women, causing him to double over with laughter. Months later, when Trump hosted another party there for young women on a so-called calendar girl competition, the organizer recalls having been surprised to discover that Epstein was the only other guest. With him telling the Times, I said, "Donald, this is supposed to be a party with VIPs. You're telling me it's you and Epstein?" Also, the organizer's girlfriend at the time later accused Trump that night of taking her into a bedroom, forcibly kissing and fondling her and restraining her from leaving. With the friendship then continuing, with flight logs showing that Trump flew on Epstein's jet at least 7 times over 4 years in the 1990s. And then in 2000, Trump appeared alongside Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew at a Mar-a-Lago charity fundraiser. You also have CNN now reporting that in his 2004 book, How to Get Rich, Trump described taking a call from a man that he dubbed the mysterious Jeffrey. Writing, "As mysterious as Jeffrey is, he's one of the few people I know who can get by on just a first name. My staff never asked for a last name in his case," which in a way puts him up there with Elvis. Not that Elvis calls in much these days, but you never know. So I will say, it is unclear whether that's Epstein or, some other mysterious man named Jeffrey. Though you have many noting that it's reminiscent of the cryptic birthday letter to Epstein a year earlier, in which Trump appeared to call the man an enigma and alluded to wonderful secrets they shared, well as a comment about them having a lot in common, which really makes one wonder what that kind of stuff might be. And if you ask the Times, it remarks in its investigation what seemed to draw them together, according to those who knew them at the time, was a common interest in hitting on and competing for attractive young women at parties, nightclubs, and other private events. And even Trump himself seemed to admit as much in 2002 when, after calling Epstein a terrific guy whom he'd known for 15 years, he told New York Magazine, "It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." And although, the White House has maintained that Trump cut off ties with Epstein because he was a creep, reporting from the Times and the Washington Post suggests that they actually split over a real estate deal that they had competed for. So, for many, this is just evidence of two rich and powerful men hanging out as rich and powerful men do. But for others, it suggests something darker. But either way, it, it seems like new bits of information, new allegations, new photos, and videos, they just keep coming up on a weekly, if not daily basis now. And all of that is Trump is doing literally everything he can to deflect from the situation. Threatening to arrest Obama, blackmailing the Washington commanders, even posting weird videos like this one of incredible stunts, such as a woman catching a cobra mid-strike with her bare hand, which by the way is fake, but it also doesn't take away from the fact that the president is essentially posting like Vine compilations going like, stop looking at the Epstein stuff. Though so far, nothing has fully deflected, and we are seeing that reflecting in the polls. With new reports coming in saying, as of today, 43.5% of Americans approve of the job he's doing and 53.8% disapprove. Though that also may not be just specifically because of the Epstein files. Right, tariff chaos and uncertainty, that's looming in the air. Well, immigration, it is still technically his strongest issue. You had reports noting that his net immigration approval rating has dropped from plus 2.2 to minus 5.6 between June 1st and July 22nd. For now, we'll have to see what else comes out, what happens with the new developments, and of course, how the public perceives everything.